I'm Lee Spencer. I'm with the RacinBoys. I'm sitting here with Alex Bowman, who took over the driving duties of the number 88 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet this year. How has it been, the transition and everything? Is it starting to feel like an old pair of jeans, old pair of shoes? You kind of comfortable yet?
Yeah, I think we were kind of able to hit the ground running in the sense that we had worked together in 2016, and everything felt at home right away. You know, our results weren't where they needed to be to start the year, but you know, everything as far as in the car and communication-wise, I think we were working together really well. So that part of it's been pretty easy to feel right at home in the organization and all that. Having to develop the car and kind of try to improve all year has been probably the hardest part. You know, just trying to get better each and every week, and just kind of where we started the year to where we are now. We've come a long way and still have a long way to go.
You think that's more the new Camaro or just you and Greg learning each other? Because I listen to you guys a lot on the radio, and he feels really comfortable with the fact that you can give him engineering speak to tell him what the car is doing, where that wasn't always the case for your predecessor. Not to take anything away from that, but you guys seem to be more on the same wavelength when it comes to getting the car dialed in.
Yeah, I think we communicate really well. You know, I grew up building my own race cars and working on a lot of my own stuff, so I kind of feel like that helps me out a little bit. And Greg and I are pretty good friends away from the racetrack as well, so our relationship is really good, and I think that's been a strong suit of ours this year. There's been times this year where I've been too quiet on the radio or whatever, and I've tried to work on giving the best communication I can all year, and I think we've only improved.
The expectations clearly were high, just given the fact that it's a Hendrick car, but to make the playoffs with your first year at Hendrick, it's got to give you some satisfaction to be in this position. Yeah,
I don't know that I'm going to be satisfied until we go win races. The playoffs are really cool, and it's neat to be a part of, but at the same time, you know, we haven't finished how I want to finish, and we haven't been able to consistently run how I think we should. So we know we still have a lot of work to do, and we've come a long way and gotten a lot better, but like I said, we still have a long way to go.
Big news at Hendrick Motorsports this week. Changes to the 48, changes to the 24. Are you kind of happy that you're not in that mix? And ultimately, with Darian Grubb and all of his experience going into the technical director's role, should even help you know, help the structure, so to speak, because, you know, Jeffy Andrews has been doing a lot, but since Doug Ducart left, there's really kind of not been somebody just to assume everything. Is that going to help the organization with Darian moving on?
Yeah, I think so. I think Darian's a really smart guy and obviously a great crew chief, so for him to kind of move to a role like that, I think it'll be a strong move for the organization, and I'm glad Greg and I are staying together. Obviously, we work really well together, and we're really good friends. So I think that kind of shows everybody's confidence in the two of us to work together, that we're going to stay together and all that. So I think it's great. I'm excited for William and Jimmy with the changes they have coming, and it'll be really neat to watch. Obviously, it's a big story, Jimmy not having Chad, and Chad going over to William. It's from a fan's perspective, I'm excited to watch it and just see what happens.
That being said, how do you think William is really, really quiet, and Chad, you know, doesn't hold back? I mean, do you think that, I don't know, is William going to have to evolve in that situation? I mean, you see the data, you see, you know, you're there day in, day out. How do you think that this is going to affect William? Because a lot of people say maybe he moved up a little quick, and you know what that's like because you lived through that as well. Having somebody with the wealth of Chad's knowledge, how much is it going to help him?
I think William is a super talented race car driver, like unbelievable talent. And I honestly think Chad's just going to demand a lot from him at all times, and not take any excuses, and just be super demanding all the time. And I think what you're going to see from William with that is him stepping up, and like kind of a new side from William that we haven't seen before. So Not that he's not stepping up right now. I think he's doing a great job, and he's a heck of a race car driver, but I think Chad's just going to elevate that to a new level, and I'm excited to see it.
With him being a rookie, who do you lean on more, Chase or Jimmy?
Probably Jimmy. You know, he's got a lot of experience. Chase is great to lean on as well, and I've definitely tried to lean on him the best I can. But Jimmy's just such an open book, and he's always there, and you know, he's kind of assumed a leadership role between the group of drivers, and it's great to be able to lean on him.
I saw the stat about you leading the most laps at restrictor plates from in the Chevrolet camp. You said that almost blew your mind as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised by that. I'm not a big super speedway fan. It's a stressful weekend, but it's cool to have that stat. You know, I think a lot of that comes from how fast our race cars have been and how well they've driven. You know, we've had some really good driving super speedway cars this year, and I guess it's been the same car all year, but no, it's been a great car, and excited to have it back here. It's been really fast everywhere we've taken it, so Greg and the guys have done a really good job with it.
So your expectations for Sunday?
I mean, everybody says we have to win, so we may as well go win, but it's gonna be a tough day. You know, we're kind of all or nothing at this point. Points aren't gonna get us there, so. I mean, they could in a perfect situation, but it'd be hard for just points to get us there. So we've got a lot of work to do, and hopefully we can get a win.
Have you drafted with one teammate over another at Hendrick that you find that you work well with? Because back in the day, it was Jimmy and Junior, and you know, Jimmy usually got the best end of that deal. So just kind of wondering.
Yeah, I mean, the way plate racing works now, it's really hard to stick with one guy all day. You don't have the tandem or anything anymore. So really, I haven't really been around my teammates all that much. A little bit at the beginning of the last Daytona race, and then kind of got all shuffled all over the place. So really kind of been on my own for most of it. But no, I'm excited to try to get working together this weekend again.
And finally, Matt DiBenedetto is one of your buddies, and to see him get a decent opportunity for next season, you know, what does that mean for him? Because you know what it was like to kind of be with a C team and then get the call. I mean, have you discussed it at all with him?
Haven't really talked to him about it, but it's really cool to see for him. I'm happy for him, and he's been grinding it out for quite a while, back from starting parking Xfinity cars a couple years ago to where he's at now. It's pretty neat. So proud of him, and I think he's a heck of a race car driver. So it's cool to see. And
we will see you at the Gateway Nationals. That's your next outside of stock car start, is it not? Or are you going to Turkey Night?
I'm going to Turkey Night as an owner. And the only time I'm driving the midget this year is Chili Bowl, but as an owner, I'll be at Turkey Night, Gateway, and DeCoin. So excited for those three. A little bit of stress. We're a little behind on all our cars, but we've got one that's almost done, and the other is still a pile of tubing. So I've got some work to do.
So we couldn't lure you into the seat before Chili Bowl, or is that under your contract?
Yeah, I'm only, if I get the second car done, I would love to get behind the wheel and at least hot lap or do something, because I'm probably going to be pretty rusty at Chili Bowl, but probably have to talk to the boss on that one.
Hey, we really appreciate your time today, Alex.
Yeah, thanks for having me.